Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Everything is Disco. That's right. We back in this thing, man. We going ahead. This is episode. No, actually, this is a one shot. We figured out what we're gonna call them. This is the 45, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thomas Egler, aka Tommy Rocket, and I'm here with my good guy. This is Bartholomew Jones. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, fam? This is Bartholomew Jones, a.k.a. Bartholomew Jones. And y'all need to drink y'all coffee black, because if you brew better, you will probably do better. Just being honest.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Man, we doing the 45 today, man. We going to get into it. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. For those of you who don't know, back in the day when people used to actually go out and purchase vinyls, the larger ones with the full album on there, front and back, the A side, the B side, those were called 35s. And that was just the size of them, or, you would call them LPs. And then the smaller ones, those were called EPs. They were like the smaller, the shorter version. So that, like, for example, today when people put out not necessarily a full album, they'll put out an EP, anywhere from 4 to 6 songs or 8 songs. And so those are called EPs. That size of vinyl was called 45s. So, for us, this necessarily isn't like a full episode. It can be as long as an episode, but it's not necessarily like the stuff that we talk about all the time. So, like, for example, we're not always going to do movie reviews. We're not always going to do, show reviews, or, we're not always going to do music reviews. So that's why we call these, our EPs or the 45. And so, of course, like with our president being the number president that he is, 45, don't get it twisted. Don't get it mistaken. We're not naming what we're doing after the 45th president. But it just so happens that EPs, just happen to be called 45s. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Everything is Disco.
It's the 45
episode number, what do we call this?
3 million.
The 45 number 1.
Yeah. Is this Yep.
We'll call this.
No, this is the first one that they need to know about.
Yes,
exactly. This is
exactly.
If you don't know, now you know.
Man, we giving y'all all the behind the scenes.
That's real talk, man.
But this is honestly, we learn.
Y'all getting the polydiddles.
Right. The way we learned podcasting was from hearing all of our favorite podcasters, and then like getting the little nuances, the little extras that you don't always get. So for anybody who's really interested in podcasting or starting their own show or blogging or vlogging, whatever, hey, if we can help you in some way, thank you. We appreciate you for learning, for listening to us. And you're welcome.
Yes. It's the relationships. Like, I think for us, like, this what kept happening to us. Like, we be talking and we be like, this would be such a dope podcast. You know what I mean? And man. I think for what people, what I hope you guys are getting is not like us as experts. Right. But I think just us as people, and hopefully we're as a community, you know what I mean? Just like going through life together, learning and vibing, and you know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you look at your life, if you're not saying to yourself, yo, who would have thought I'd get you? Then what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Speaking of which.
Spoken in the wonderful words of my man from Toronto.
Yes.
Hailing all the way from Toronto. I'm not talking about Drake.
Yes. The six.
I'm talking... You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the good young Daniel Ceasar, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
One of my friends sent me a link a couple days ago, and he was like, you have to check this guy out.
Yeah.
He found Daniel and his new album. He found it because he was looking up. There's a singer, artist, producer. Her name she goes by Her, Her.
Right.
She's a crazy artist, great singer, and like I said, she apparently produces. So that's really cool. She writes and all that good stuff. And so, in finding some of her music, my buddy was like, "Yo, who is Daniel Ceasar? So he listened to, the song Best Part featuring her. And from there, he just listened to the rest of the album and was like, oh, my goodness. So he had to share it. And so it just so happened to be 4 days after the release. And, I'm saying sharing is caring. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and sharing Daniel Ceasar with you guys today.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, how did you know about Daniel Ceasar? Did you hear about him on Sound? I know he's got a kind of a big SoundCloud presence and all that good stuff.
Yo, to be honest, dog, I'm off SoundCloud. Like, I'm on it, but I'm off SoundCloud. It's a combination of like, one, we moved in the hood and they ain't got no cell phone towers in the hood. So when I'm in the car, it's like that junk it's no buffering. And then two, I think that's like I just am like really kind of feeling Google Play, and it's not like a plug. They're not giving me any money. I know nobody uses Google Play, but like so.
Although we will take it, Google Play. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the 5 stars and the positive comment.
Thank you for copping the album
and the products that you provide.
Yeah,
A1.
Y'all bought like 16 mixtapes. It's not what them folks was doing for Jay-Z, but I appreciate the love, man. We was able to get some formula with that.
Yes. Hashtag dad props.
Shout out to my sons. Yeah, man. But so like we my homie got the plug for that. I ain't gonna tell y'all how I got the plug. I got the plug to be able to. I got the plug. I got that.
Yeah. I got that.
So I got the plug for Google Play. So I'm listening to Google Play or whatever and kind of just listening to music. And one day this thing pops up and it's like, you should check out this artist or a recommended artist. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. The internet doesn't know me. Computers don't know me. But I clicked on it and it was amazing. That's how I got into Gabriel Garzon.
Because just shouts out to Gab, man.
Yo,
that man is talented.
He's
amazing.
Monster.
Good music.
He's
Vibes for days.
And also like, okay, so like, and SoundCloud started just giving me a bunch of like stuff that I actually didn't want to hear. And maybe it was, I had to like start unsubscribing to a whole bunch of people, but it was like, everything was rap. And I'm a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Like I sing and produce some, but like I'm a rapper. Like that's the first thing I've been rapping since I was like 11. You know what I mean? So I love rap, but I'm like, I don't want to listen to rap all day. You know what I mean? Like, especially not the same type of like Migos over Solection remix with a million synthesizers and I'm like, yo, this is tight. This is tight. Thank you.
That's it was R2D2 music,
bro. It's the Solection music. They be like, it's like that Sam Gellatry stuff. So I'm like, this is tight.
I wish you guys could see my man reenacted the bebop dee-dop ski-dop. I wish you could see it.
Oh. Video coming soon, man. Shout out to Google Play. They said they was gonna buy us 1 million cameras.
We got y'all.
We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for buying 666 Google Gillion mixtapes. Appreciate y'all, man.
Swag.
That's love. Y'all get the VIP treatment. But yeah, man. So I just stopped doing it. I stopped listening to SoundCloud. It kept being weird stuff. I was like, I don't want to hear this. And then it was like weird dubstep stuff. And I was like, what? I don't.
See, here's the thing. As a producer, I think I started following tons of producers at the very beginning, like when I first got on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And so my SoundCloud is a little bit differently curated.
Right.
And so like I get a lot of Selection, Soul Etiquette. Shout out to all those guys who are really killing it out there. But then like the producers, so I was getting like Ill Mind.
Right.
I was getting Evil. Who was that? Evil Needle.
Evil Needle is dope.
Yeah. I was getting a lot of just really like underground. Tom Mish.
Yes. So Jordan
Mish,
Jordan Reiki, those are the reasons. Those dudes are the reasons why I ended up leaving SoundCloud.
Really?
Because I wanted to hear more jazz and soul, and most of the music on SoundCloud is electronic. You know.
Well, see, that's funny because they were the reason I stayed.
Right, but I knew I'm signed up to their Bandcamp, so whenever they drop something, I get the email. And then like
Nice.
it just wasn't that type of music on the regular. It was like
Okay.
I would get something from them like maybe once a month, and then everything else was like I'm like.
Gotcha.
Deep. I'm like, stop, bro.
Attack of R2D2.
Yeah, man. But I heard about him on
all
Google Play. I heard about, to answer your question, I heard about him on Google Play, and it was tight, man. I mean, I heard, first thing I heard was Get You. You know, that immediately went in the date night playlist. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that went, got to. And then after that, I went back and listened to a bunch of his other music. So he had like this song like Violets or Purple Violets or something like that. And then I like that one the most. And then just kind of read up on him. And then he dropped, what's the name of that song? But it's basically a song where he's just saying, "We fall down."
On Freudian?
Yeah. It might be called "We Fall Down" or "Fall Down."
I think it's actually "We Find Love."
Yeah, "We Find Love." So that song, he dropped that and another song called like "Blessing" or something as like a double single. Blessed. Like, as a double single. Yes. And so I was like, yo, and Blessed was cool, but the gospel chorus was like, bro, it was killing me, man. So I was like, I was all on that. And then pretty much, I mean, shout out to Google Play when the album dropped, it was just, they recommended it to me. You know what I mean? That day. So I was like,
nice.
Okay. I'm all about this.
Good stuff.
Yeah, bro.
So first impressions. What did you get like coming off of, I'll just say for me, coming off of like SoundCloud, listening to, like I said, you know, Ill Mind. One of my favorite artists is James Blake. Yeah. And so like he's, in my opinion, he's got like a James Blake type of vibe to him.
Yeah, I think are they both baritones? At least they're like their voices are in the deeper register of the male voice than what you would normally hear.
I would say so.
Yeah,
I definitely would say so. And then they both also use like their falsetto really well.
Oof.
And so yeah, man, I love just kind of like the electronics mixed with the organic sound. To me, listening to guys like, again, you know, Jordan Reiki, Tom Misch, you know, all those guys. And then it almost kind of reminded, like you said, some of the gospel vibes that he had going on. Bro. Reminded me of like, you know, Chance. He had a little bit of Chance the Rapper. You know, especially again on "We Find Love." To me, that was, you know, that sounded like a Chance song. Even "Blessed" kind of sound like a Chance song a little bit.
I definitely got the titles mixed up. Yo, how many songs are there called Blessings right now? Like,
man, or at least having to do something with blessing, blessed.
I'm gonna look this up.
Bless up. Shout out to DJ Khaled.
Shout out to DJ Khaled. That's the only grown man who's allowed to stay on Snapchat. DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
We pulling
perhaps,
bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
1, 2.
So many Khaled-isms. That dude is a social media genius,
bro,
and natural born idiot all at the same time.
Hilarious.
I don't. You know what's funny is I don't know if he considers himself to be funny though.
Yeah, like, I think he's being serious. He's just like doing him, passionate, and then people think it's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I said, the type of music that I like, you know, Sango.
Yep.
You know, brother Xavier Omar.
Yep. You know who this album kind of reminds me of No Name Gypsy.
Huh.
It like the vibe and the texture of the instrumentation, and also the approach to the way the artists kind of deliver their words, and it kind of reminds me of No Name Gypsy's project. Which shout out to No Name, man. No Name's project was like one of my favorites. I listen to her Tiny Desk concert like once a month for inspiration.
Man, Tiny Desk, shout out to them too. They always put together such great artist.
Yeah,
I
really
found
do.
a lot of people. What's her name? Leanne LaHava? Yeah,
fam, we
found
just
her.
that album.
Yeah, yeah. Has Emily King done one? A Tiny Desk?
No, but she needs to.
She needs to,
Because
bro.
Emily King's acoustic set, I'm not even talking about like her with a band. Because her with a band is a problem. But Emily King just with a guitar and the backup singer, it's like, like she was in Memphis. I didn't get to go, of course, Shout out to my sons. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not blaming my sons for that. That's because we broke. We out here on this teacher salary. But yeah, man,
grinding,
bro, it's crazy. Like just the vibes that she gets just as a performer and stuff. But man, so that's kind of like my initial reaction. Anything else you want to say on initial reaction?
No, okay. So my initial reaction was listening. At first, it was kind of like, okay, this is a nice, chill, album. And actually, the entire album is really chill.
Yeah, it's super chill.
But the vibes that I got from it were it was great. You can tell that the man is actually very talented. He's not just like a guy who wants to sing or a guy who wants to produce and write. Like he actually is really good at writing. Like in my opinion, he's a great writer. You can tell he plays, even before I saw any videos, I can tell he plays piano, probably plays, he also plays guitar, and all that kind of stuff. And also some of our initial reactions were like, okay, he also sounds like he grew up in church, because as myself, I'm a church musician, grew up in the church. And so I know, it takes one to know one. So, so it was really cool to hear some of those things mixed in. We can get into like some of the other like messages and stuff like that I got from it later on. But anyway, go ahead. Let me hear what you got.
Yeah, man. I mean, those were that was my initial thought, man. It was everything I wanted. I mean, it was like having heard those two singles, and then heard some of his other stuff. I was like, yo, I'm definitely a fan of the direction he's going. And then like this album was just him taking those ideas and fleshing them out. I really enjoyed like some of the guest appearances. I was like, yo, this is nice right here. Like you got some people coming in. I thought Sid did an unusually dope performance. Like Sid is always dope whenever I hear her on stuff, but like her performance was, to me, like she put more effort into it. You know what I mean? Like the Internet is a cool project and I like their music a lot, but it's just like a lot of times I think the thing that I dislike the most is I kind of wish Sid gave more emotion in her vocals. And I feel like in this one, like, I don't know if it was a collaboration with Daniel or the track, but I was like, yo, like I'm feeling what you're talking about. You know what I mean? As opposed to just being like, yo, I smoke and I'm cool. Like, I'm like, yes, we know this. But like, also emotions are nice, especially when you are trying to sing a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny that you talk about emotions because like as you scroll through comments on any platform that he's on, that's all you see people saying is like, man, this really made me like tap into my emotions. It made me like feel. It made me want someone like to love. It made me like that. I saw some people saying that, they were out of a relationship, but it's like, man, this makes me want to trust people again. This makes me want to, fall in love or find somebody or like go find my girl or go find my guy. And it's really interesting to be an artist and see that that's the general like response is an emotional response to your music, as opposed to just like people, like you said, there are artists who people just want to smoke to, or people want to ride to, or people want to get hyped to, or party to, or different things like that. But for someone to have like an emotional response, it's that's kind of interesting, because a lot of times singers either make you sad or they make you like really excited and like happy. Right. But his music, it kind of makes you contemplative. It makes you feel warm. It makes you it's a mix of emotions for sure.
Yeah, man. But I definitely feel like he's thinking about the listener. Because it's kind of, my wife and I have this conversation all the time, like, who's the greatest, Michael or Prince? You know what I mean? And and in my opinion, I think if we're talking about pure talent, then Prince is obviously the man,
hands down.
Yeah, but when we talk about impact, you know what I
mean?
What,
we can still be friends, man. After all this time, I wasn't sure, but when you said Prince has pure talent, over Mike, I love Mike. I grew up on the man.
Right.
But
right, and it is no question because Prince plays like every instrument on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's an incredible singer, like you know what I mean, actor, whatever. But like when you look at Michael's impact, the impact is not because of Michael's talent, although that is prodigious. But the impact is because of the connection he made with people. You know what I mean? Which honestly, dude, is why I want to do this podcast. Like I want to do this podcast to make connections with people, not just to be this. Because like for me, man, as a rapper, I think I started out and all I wanted to do was like, rap really monotone and give people like really complex lyrical miracles. You know what I mean? And it's like people don't care about lyrical miracles anymore. Like they care about how you make them feel. And I think that's why I keep coming back to Daniel Ceasar. It's his music, even when I don't agree with what he's saying, I agree with how he feels. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like that's rare.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And okay, so I guess we can move into kind of like some of the other aspects that, or our takeaways from the album.
Yeah, you want to run through the track listing?
Sure. So I mean, okay, of course, number one, Getaway. I mean, I'm sorry, Get You.
Yep, Get You.
That was definitely like you said, that's date night. That's the stroll through the park.
Yeah.
Type of song.
Yeah, man. And okay, so we'll probably get into it, but I think there's like a story here with this album, which I would not have expected like there to be a narrative, but like I think this is the most optimistic song in the album. You know what I mean? When it comes to like him saying, I'm really excited to get you. I'm grateful. I don't deserve you. Who would have known that I ever got the girl of my dreams? Like I always wanted a girl like you, and now I finally have you. And there's no like caveat. There's no like but after it. You know what I mean? So I think it's dope. And what'd you think about Kelly Uchis? Or Kelly. What'd you think about her?
Her voice. So now that you kind of bring that storyline up for this song, her voice actually matches perfectly that type of, when you think of, a girlfriend or you think of your wife or whatever, like you're not thinking of, no shade, but you're not thinking of like Beyonce.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're thinking of like cute, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm thinking about Beyonce when I think about my wife. I just got to say it because my wife gonna hear this. She's gonna be like, what you mean you ain't thinking about Beyonce?
Okay, but I think,
you know what?
Let me
no,
preface
we thinking
that.
about Solange. We thinking about Solange. This conversation. We gonna lose this conversation. I'm sorry. I'm trying, man.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, I don't see Beyonce as a type of woman that I would marry.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, regardless of how like everybody else in society says she's beautiful, those are not my standards of beauty. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
I know that's probably the worst thing. The Beehive is Beehive.
I'm
Please,
like, I hear them buzzing. I hear them buzzing right now.
They out my door. They outside. Don't come get me. That's I'm saying this because number one, I'm a married man. All right. Number two, that's just how I feel. Like it's true. Okay.
If she keep on using all that bleach, man, her skin gonna look about the shade. I was like, yo, what happened to Destiny's Child? Like, how you get reverse tans?
She moved up out of Texas.
But she been shining, yeah. You shining, you supposed to get tan. All of this money, you been getting this bleach. That's what you been doing.
Right. But sorry, we digress. What I'm saying is, when you think of, how did I get you? You're thinking about, at least from my perspective, I'm thinking of, my wife.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like cute, friendly, very warm, someone that's like gonna pull the best out of me.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? And so like in my opinion, Kelly Uchis, her voice, it was like it's got that
Quality,
warm, full texture, but it's soft.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I would have thought about that when I first listened to the album. When I first listened to the song, I hated her part because everything I liked about Daniel Ceasar was the texture, right, and the unique texture that like his voice has, his approach to lyrics, the way he even delivered, his lines, the music, everything was like a little rough. You know what I mean?
Got you.
It was a little indie. It was a little, jazzy. It was like not like the like woo she about like not like that type of jazz, but like I'm not talking about like elevator jazz. I'm talking about jazz like Miles Davis. Like this makes me a little uncomfortable, but it sounds so good I can't stop. That type of like it had a rough edge to it. It got soul. And when I heard her voice, I was just like, yo, I feel like a million people have this voice. That's how I felt. I was like,
okay, I can see that.
And it kind of took me, but when you look at it in context to the album, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the Kirk Franklin John. So there's 5 other female vocals on or 5 female vocals on the album. Her voice is probably the most straight ahead voice.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
She was not the strongest like vocal singer out of all the ladies on the album.
Which is because I've heard her on Solection, like,
okay,
and so like the song I heard from her, I can't remember what it was. It was some mix, but shout out to Joe K. Appreciate all the mixtapes, bro. Joe K came through about 62 mixtapes. I appreciate
Joe K. Y'all killing it out there. Man. Love y'all.
Thanks for putting the mixtape on heavy rotation, dog. I know they loving it out there in Sweden right now.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for drinking your coffee black. But yeah, man. So I was kind of underwhelmed, but as I listened to it more, like it's just become a part of the song to me. And then what you just said, actually, I think is perfect. You know what I mean? I think it's the perfect decision for where they are and what they're doing. You know what I mean? So I think it's dope. I think that's dope.
Yeah. Next song being best part, dude. Her
killed it.
She killed it. And knowing that she is a writer, producer, vocal, I'm sure she's a vocal producer.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. In my opinion, I feel like she had this song. They probably co-wrote it, but I feel like she had this song and the majority of the melodies and everything, harmonies and everything. I feel like she had that and was like, yo, just sing this. Sing this.
It felt a little, you can tell, I think, sometimes when an artist has someone else give them, like even like Rihanna's perfect example. You could tell who Rihanna's writing with by the song she puts out, because it's like her whole personality almost changes. And Caesar definitely came with like more energy and I think more vibrant. You know what I mean? Like
more soul in my opinion.
Yeah. It just felt more like, I don't know. It felt not pop in a bad way, but it felt more contemporary. You know what I mean? Like some of his music, I feel like it's just him in his room in the dark, like with a notepad without any music, just kind of like thinking for a long time about his lyrics. This song feels like it just makes sense. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, I love, dude, one of my favorite lines from that song is, if life is a movie, then you're the best part.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's super simple. It could come across as a little cheesy, a little corny, but singing wise, it just is very singable. It's very relatable.
Yep.
You don't have to think too hard about if life is a movie, you're the best part. Like your mind automatically clicks to that. Like, oh yeah, okay, the best part of a movie. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I love the writing on that song. I love the vocal production. I love how stripped down it was. Like the track didn't actually pick up until the latter half of the song.
Yep.
And you didn't get like drums and stuff like that until the very end. And that's because they had such beautiful vocals. Like their vocal arrangements were incredible in this song. So man. And in my opinion, like that's, well, I don't know if you had anything else to say about this song.
No, the next song that I have like something specific to say is like track 9. So I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, I think the other songs were dope. For me, I just experienced it. You know what I mean? I'm 2 or 3 listens into it. So I'm like, I know Get You stood out. And then I do have something
man.
to say about We Find Love too.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I definitely feel like the storyline is progressing at this point. Like he found a girl. Now he's enjoying being in a relationship with her. But it doesn't stay. That enjoyment doesn't stay there for much longer in the album.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What's the next one? Hold Me Down.
Yep.
That I love. Like, to me, this is the one, and I'm sure he's probably hates this comparison because he probably gets it a lot. This is the one that felt most like Frank Ocean to me.
Right. Oh, he definitely, like, I mean, if he has an inspiration list of like people who Frank got to be on the. If without Frank Ocean, this dude wouldn't exist.
Yeah, well, I don't know though, because I've been seeing. Okay, when did Frank get hot? When did he really start popping?
When did Orange come out? It's not skip Orange. When did
before it was the album?
The mixtape. It was a mixtape he dropped.
Was it like 2010 maybe?
Nah,
or was it even before that?
Let me see. Ocean mix.
But like what I'm thinking is
Nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Nostalgia.
Because what I was gonna say is I've seen people who said they were fans of Daniel Ceasar for.
Oh, it's 2011.
2011. So I was almost close. 2010.
No, you're right. I thought it was before that. But
okay.
2011, 2010, those were huge years. Because that's when I found out about Macklemore. That's when I found out about Kendrick. Like that's like a lot of people popped in.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Who else? Amon Omari. He hadn't really popped yet.
But I was gonna say, like, in terms of fan base, like I've just seen people say that they were fans of him because like one of the comments I saw was like, man, this is the kind of music that you want to hold on to and like not tell anybody about,
right?
And like you want this to be your like secret. You got the inside scoop,
bro,
on new music,
dude,
that nobody has yet.
I haven't even been showing people this joint, bro.
I know, right, dude? Like, when I text you, or like when I called you. And like I don't know if you could hear it in my voice, but I was like, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it. What you know about Daniel Ceasar,
bro? When you said Daniel Ceasar, I had 3 reactions. First, I was like, bruh, I'm not gonna say that. How do you like? Because how
do you know about Daniel?
My hope was I could like. He's been my production muse for the last like year. You know what I mean? So I was like, if you heard,
caught you, man. This dude is holding back on me.
I was like,
holding back on your boy. Holding back on your boy.
I think I sent you one of his songs.
No, you ain't never sent me this man's songs. I would have been found this stuff.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
your own producer. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have been producing this man's music for like the last 5. Probably more than that. 6 years,
it's 8
7
years.
years.
It's 8 years. It's like 2010.
Yeah, I've been producing this man's music for 8 years, and this guy is holding back on your boy.
Bro, I just want to I want to get one.
I see where we stand.
So Tom pretty much taught me everything I know about production. And one of my biggest goals
Go ahead, fix it. Go ahead.
One of my biggest goals is to send Tom a track, and track is like, what is this? Like that. You can't see me, but I just leaned up really close to the camera, and I was like, what? Yeah. So it's like, that's my goal. Yeah. And I was like, yo, this right, I got the key right here.
That was the key.
If I just keep vibing on this, and I keep trying to, one of these days. But my second reaction was like the hipstery reaction, like, oh, I already know about Daniels.
Right. Oh, I've known about him for a couple of years now.
But you can't, those two reactions don't go together. Because either you keep it a secret or you tell people how long you've been listening to it.
Because then you run into what I'm saying right now. You're hiding it from your boy. Wow. Wow, and more wow.
Bro. But man. Daniel Ceasar is the man. And then I guess my third reaction was just excited because I felt like he like me and me and you both listen to Tom Misch a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tom Misch was super. When I first heard Tom Misch, it was different because there weren't the gospel vibes.
Sure.
But the way he used the electric guitar like really changed the way I thought about pop music. And this album is making me change the way I think about chords in music. And also like the electric guitar was prominent a lot. You know what I mean? In this album.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and again, like I said, parts of it made me feel like he's so good. Like I'm listening to him vocally, and normally you don't have a lot of guys who are great writers, who are good musicians and good producers and good vocalists. And so like listening to him sing makes me feel like he plays, you know, guitar. I've seen him play guitar, but it makes me feel like he's a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So,
and it's hard because then he has so many dope parts in his songs. It's like it's easy to get lost in one part, and you totally miss what he's doing over here. And the music is so chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get. What's the next standout track to you? Like I think.
Yeah. We can kind of skip through a little bit. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I have to go back to the Hold Me Down.
Right.
Because this is a song. It goes into a little bit of a song that we kind of grew up on.
Yes.
Shouts out to Kirk Franklin,
which I did not catch that till you told me. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And now I was like, "Oh,
that's the exact melody and everything." I mean, and for me, I was like, "Okay, this is really interesting." That number one tells me, like I said, he had to have grown up in church.
Yeah, somehow, that's like somebody pulling out like a Pages of Life sample. Like it's like you
know, Fred Hammond. Shouts out to Fred. Thanks for listening. 5 stars in a positive comment.
Yeah, man. Thanks for buying 79 mixtapes. I appreciate you, dog.
Man.
Drink your coffee black.
See you out there, boy.
Yeah, man.
But my thing is, I thought it was interesting because I'm like, who else is gonna really pick up on that except for people who grew up listening to Kirk Franklin?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, that was a song that you probably would skip if you were listening. Like you don't listen to Kirk Franklin, you know, not for the slow songs.
Not
honestly,
for that one.
Like if you're, you know, if at the time I was a kid, you know, listening to Kirk Franklin. So
he had to have been a kid.
Yeah.
He had to be like 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm just saying that I grew up in a house where that album, we just played it. We just let it play.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how you know it's like, okay, he grew up in this.
He got the B-sides.
Yeah, that was definitely a B-side.
But I think that gospel vibe is there. Even like if you look at the album, like once you get to New Roses, number 4, he starts to bring in spiritual imagery, like Transgressor song. Transgressor is a word, it's a church word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can kind of start to see how he views himself and how he's like this relationship is also something that's tied to like he's giving a lot of like relational imagery. Not even imagery, it's just straight up. He's not being coy about it. He's telling you about a relationship and like on again, off again. But there's also these spiritual allusions that he's making. And it kind of makes you feel like maybe the person he's in a relationship is God. Or maybe he feels like the relationship is the closest he's ever going to get to God. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's interesting that you like we kind of are talking about the spiritual aspects. Dude, his last album was called Praise Break.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It was. I just realized I feel like the album did not leave a big impression on me when I went back. I mean,
I can see why, because it was, I hate to say this because I love this album, Freudian. I love it. I like it a lot. But it was Freudian minus like a level or two.
Yeah. He was still figuring out. And the team was probably a lot smaller.
Yeah, absolutely. It was what I'm saying is it was the same album. It was just like this one I can tell he's getting towards perfecting his sound and his vibe, and you know, he's worked with, you know, all these people. He's got her and Sid, and you know, he's got all these people on the album now. But again, you know, like I said, Praise Break, that wasn't I don't think he had as many if any features on that album. But yeah, I mean, I was even gonna say like the beginning of New Roses, where he's got that vocal part. I don't even know who that is. He's singing with some girl. On the beginning of that song. So man, that sounded so horrible. He's singing with
the Beehive gonna murder you, bruh.
I know, right?
They're gonna murder us. Murder.
He's singing with an incredible female vocalist on the beginning of Roses.
That's cool. Female vocalist.
Yeah, there you go.
That's tight. That's tight.
I thought it was kind of reminiscent of this song called it's by Queen. It's called Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
You know, Easy Come, Easy Go. That song. It kind of reminded me of that. It put me in the mind of that. I've always, as a producer, I'm like, man, if I get a chance to finally, I know you're going to jump on me after I say this. If I finally get to work on my own music.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to like put some kind of intro that feels like that.
Yeah.
On one of the songs or a transition or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's a must. And I feel like this is a perfect time to say this, but like Daniel Ceasar feels like a black guy who did not grow up around black people. I could be totally wrong because I definitely hear the church vibes, but he's
from Toronto.
It's a lot of black people in Toronto, but they're immigrants though.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to be like looking at him. Again, this could be completely off, but he looks like, he looks like he's not like a regular black dude.
Daniel Ceasar definitely feels very much so like somebody who is a bit of an enigma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like, I don't know. He looks like he has had many different norms. And this album feels like to me like he's pushing more into his blackness. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
Interesting. It definitely has a hipster vibe. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I love the fact that at least it feels like he's doing a really good job of bridging two worlds. Like, you know, the hipster world and your like average trap, you know.
Right.
Yeah, your trap artist.
Yeah.
Because if you look at him, I mean, he's got, like I was saying, he's got like that little Yachty look, little Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's got that look, but then you listen to him, you know, he starts singing and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. He sounds like James Blake mixed with Frank Ocean meets Chance the Rapper meets, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if he raps. He probably does.
I think there was a song on Praise Break where he actually was rapping.
Yeah. Cause like I'm looking at some pictures of him and he feels like if Lil Uzi Vert was in like a Gap commercial when they're like, okay, take all the bling off and you can't wear any beads. You know what I mean? And it's like just wear these clothes. Like it feels like muted. You know what I mean? Like muted colors.
Have you seen the Get You music video?
Nah, I haven't. Is it tight?
Watch it. It actually gives you a little bit more insight to him.
Okay.
It's like shot on these old like 1990s camcorders.
That sounds exactly like something he would do.
Like the room looks like it's from the 70s. Like they cleaned out like some old 1970s or 80s like old warehouse, and it's got like tons of like glass chandeliers and like it's super tall platform that he's standing on. He's performing up there and everybody's below him, and it just looks like a ton of hipsters just came together and was like, let's rent this place out and have a concert.
Yeah, man. You know? And that's how I feel with him. But he feels super comfortable too. So making it toward the end of the album,
Yeah.
What songs for you kind of like? Well, I really want to know what you think about the song "Transform."
So I hadn't. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I gotta go back to take me away.
Okay, and we got to talk about "When You Find Love" too.
Yeah, We Find Love, absolutely. So okay, well, let's go to We Find Love real quick and just go in order.
Yeah.
What did you want to say about it? I thought it was a really great feel good song.
Yeah.
I love how like you go ahead.
So that's the thing, right? It feels like a feel good song. It feels like a spiritually encouraging song where he's saying, we fall down, but we get up. These are scriptures and things that we know, fall down 7 times, get up. Like these are like,
right.
The biblical references, scriptural references. But the actual, like, I'm going to read you the lyrics and tell me how they make you feel. You don't love me anymore. Let's see how you like this song. I see you walking out the door. Wonder why it took you so long. Ever since the day I met you, I knew you were the girl of my dreams, but we could never be. You don't love me anymore. Let's see how you like this song.
Interesting. And as you are reading them, I'm hearing them. I'm hearing Daniel singing them.
Right.
I'm just like playing it back in my head, like, oh, I did know those lyrics.
Right.
And I guess because like he tricked us.
He did. And I think he's making a point there. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I think this whole album, he kind of is making a point. But I don't know if he's making a point or just like showing us something, but it's like, I keep listening to it and I play it in my classroom. I try to play encouraging, chill music and, like my kids like the song a lot, but it's weird because you think in your head you switch the lyrics. You know what I mean? You say we find love, we get up, and we fall. You say, you know what I mean? We find love, we get up, and we fall down, we get up. You say get up twice, but the actual lyrics are we fall down, we give up.
Oh, give up.
Yeah, and the lyrics are we find love, we get up, and we fall down, we give up.
Interesting.
It's like this song is not happy.
It's not happy at all. That's really interesting. How I like that kind of stuff,
bro. He's killed. Like lyrically,
I like that kind of stuff.
Lyrically, it's crazy, dude. Like he's not spitting bars, but just like.
But then he's got this little part. It's not even a whole. Like it's not even a whole bridge, but he's like the music breaks down and he says, "Heaven help us, heaven help us."
He did, then the next thing he says,
"We fall down."
No, it's we're on our own.
See, I didn't catch that.
That's what I'm saying. He's like,
wow.
Like, it's like I think he feels like
we're on our own.
Yeah, man. He feels like there's this value in prayer and in spirituality, but he doesn't think. He think it always ends up leaving him short. You know what I mean? How like you can find love, you get up, but then you fall down, and it's not worth it to try again. You just give up. And even when you try to ask the God or whatever to help you, like he doesn't come, and you end up being on your own, or it's not what you want. And it's like it's the dark side to kind of like the other coin of like persevering and suffering because of your faith. He's like, yo, I give up. Like, I don't. It's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I thought you were the girl of my dreams. Bro, I could talk about this for days, but like,
super deep.
It's super deep to me, and I think that at the very least, his songwriting, man, his songwriting is so intentional, and I feel like he puts a lot of effort into intentionally. It would have been so easy for him to write this song and just make it an encouraging ballad. It would have been so easy. Yeah. Because the lyrics are already there. He's singing lyrics that have been sung before, but he makes those little small little twists,
little nuances. Yeah.
And it's like, it makes me uncomfortable, and it adds an eerie vibe to the whole album. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you go from Get You, which is just like obviously happy, you know what I mean? To like, this is getting kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and then you can even, keep moving forward to the next song, to Blessed.
Right.
Like, and then like the hook is like, what is that? Yes, I'm a mess, but I'm blessed to be stuck with you.
Right. Right.
Which is really interesting because, again, it's a twist on like the old, church, gospel church saying, too blessed to be stressed.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
So like all of this, that's crazy. Huh. I mean, I was listening to it and I think I was more so like, there's a lot of things that, I hear from everybody, from all kinds of artists, and I don't always agree with everything that they say. But the fact that he's got lyrics, I mean, he's got music and he's got melodies and he's got, all these different elements that make up his music that feel so good.
Right.
And then sometimes you do get lost in all of the layers, and then like I think some, like, for an artist like him, especially on this album, it gets to the point where it's like the music is the driving force, and then the lyrics are more so like the undertone, as opposed to like sometimes. Yeah, because a lot of times, like, people will write and like, oh, the lyrics are kind of, that's, what he's talking about, the message is what's driving the album, and the music is more so like the support system.
Yeah.
But I think he somehow flipped it. He figured out how to like switch it a little bit, and the music, like you said, if you're listening to We Find Love, if, you ask somebody right off the jump, oh, it's a feel good song.
Yep.
And then and then you explained it the way you just broke it down. Like it's
crazy.
It's really interesting.
Even this song, man, like the way that he sets his lines up, like it's like, yes, I'm a mess, but I'm blessed. You just read that line, it's dope. To be stuck with you. It's like, okay, cool. Sometimes it gets unhealthy. What? We can't be by ourselves. We always need each other, and yes, I'm a mess. It's like this, and like it's just like, what? Like, this is weird. Like, y'all, like, is this a good thing? Like, I was happy for you, Daniel Ceasar. Track 1, track 2. Now I'm like, y'all in some weird stuff. Like, you, and then the verse, he said, it's the things you say, it's the way that you pray. And in my head, I always stop listening. I'm like, yeah, it's the girl's like, she knows God. And then the next line is, pray on my insecurities.
Yeah.
And then the next, it's like, oh, so she's like kind of manipulative. But then he says, I know you're feeling me. And then it's like, so he likes that she's manipulative because it makes him feel valuable.
Wow.
And he's like, and then he says, I know sometimes I do wrong, but hear the words of this song. When I go, I don't stay gone for long. I don't know what's going on. It's like y'all in a jacked up, weird, like, mutually depressing and manipulative using relationship. You need to get out this joint, bro.
Yeah.
You need to get out.
Yeah. Cause then that's funny, because then you go to the next song, Take Me Away.
Yep.
And there's I can't remember the lyric, but it's something about you're gone, something about being gone for too long or whatever. What is it? Basically, it's along the lines of like, you're becoming a celebrity. Like, who do you think you are? And then he goes and says something like, oh, maybe I'm thinking about Hold You. Is it Hold Me Down? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking about Hold Me Down. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. So in those lyrics, basically, he, it talks about like, from the girl's perspective, okay, you're starting to get a little bit of celebrity. You're flying in and out of town. Mm-hmm. Who do you think you are? And then he goes and he's like, yeah, you're right. I am in and out of town. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And, but I just need you to hold me down, and again, that would feel like a normal relationship song. But I don't know if you can go back to those lyrics at some point, but
I'm looking at it right now.
But that's another one of those songs that's like, wait a minute, this is not necessarily a healthy relationship. Right. Like, what's going on here?
Right.
Interesting.
Like, even like this line, he's like, it's the sunrise and those brown eyes. You're the one I desire. When we wake up and when we make love, it makes me feel so nice. Like, what? Like, that's not what you're supposed to say after you like get a chance to be with the person who you love. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. It made me feel pretty nice. It's like,
Thanks.
I thought this y'all was a couple. Why? It's just like, it sounds like you're talking about a massage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like a shower.
Wow.
And then the next line is, "You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the Tylenol I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine." It's like y'all are using each other. Like, you don't actually care about. But I don't think that theme isn't as clear until you get into some of the like later songs. But then when you go back, you can see it. It's like y'all are like, y'all are not in a good spot, man. But it's weird because I love listening to this with my wife.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
So it's like
isn't that crazy? I haven't listened to the album with my wife yet, but it does it puts you in the mind. Like, again, all of the statements or in the comments that I read, people are like, "Oh man, this makes me want to go find my girl. This makes me want to spend time with a loved one. This makes me want to, be in a relationship."
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. So you said you want to talk about "Take Me Away," or did you want to go to "Transform"?
Oh yeah. So "Take Me Away," that's the one with Sid. I feel like it was a really good, like, Sid did a great job of kind of matching where he is, like matching vocally, matching the emotion. Because like you said, at the beginning, Kelly Uchis, she was kind of that just a regular type of singer, but then you go to her, she's a really great singer. And then you don't have any more like real features until we get to "Take Me Away." And this song, in my opinion, feels like Daniel Ceasar. Like, this feels like it was not produced by anybody else. Mm-hmm. This is him. This is his writing. This is his production. And then Sid jumps in, and she does a great job of kind of like matching where he is.
Yeah, this song kind of picked the album back up for me because I almost got bored. Yeah. And when
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, okay, we back.
Yeah.
And I was waiting on the Sid feature just because, like, I wouldn't say I'm a Sid fan, but I mess with Sid though. Like, it's like whenever the internet drops something, I definitely check it out.
No, she's super creative. Yeah. She's very creative. I won't say that she's like the best vocalist in the world, but I will say that she's very creative, and like she knows what she can do with her voice,
and what she
so
can.
You hear, and what she can't, and so you can hear a lot of it in the in her harmonies, in the background vocals. Like, she kind of like fills in some of the spaces that normally other singers would probably be doing a lot of runs and stuff, but she's filling some of that in with, like, and this is the producer coming out at me. I'm hearing all like the technical, the vocal stuff that's happening in the song. But what did you get, like, lyrically? What did you get from it?
Not a lot. It's kind of like, it just felt kind of like, them trying to get away in this idea of like, normally when people say "take me away," it's like, I want to leave with you, which I think they do want to go with each other, but they also need to get away from each other. So that's definitely like, they kind of play on that, but I don't think they get too deep into it lyrically because I think he's just, I think he likes this song. I could feel like this was a fun song, and it feels good. I personally love listening to Sid because as a rapper and a person who doesn't have like a crazy singing voice, like, I love to hear what people who just like sing to get an emotion across. It's like some emotions, they just don't come across rapping. They're better sung. And so I love hearing people who kind of take more of like a bluesy aspect to singing. So I like what she did on it. I thought it was an interesting choice to take a big feature like that and then like leave her part till the end. You know what I mean? But I think it works. Next track. Anything else you want to say about "Take Me Away"?
Nope.
"Transform." This is one I have a lot of thoughts about. And Charlotte Day Wilson, is that the girl who was on the commercial with Stevie?
Is that?
You remember that girl
is that Andra? It was
Andra Day. That was Andra Day. So
I
saw Day, and I was like, how do I know this person? But it's just the name Day.
Got you.
Yeah, everybody was like, me and my wife was like, Stevie got a daughter? She sings? Like,
man, oh my goodness.
That would be.
He actually does. He does have a daughter who sings, and she normally does background for him.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So like on the Songs in the Key of Life tour,
yeah,
she was one of the background singers.
We gotta find her album, fam.
Yeah, I don't know if she's like a soloist though.
She probably got a SoundCloud.
I hope so.
I like SoundCloud for people who just experiment with different musical ideas. Like, this is just where I play around with stuff. I need to follow more people. If y'all got like recommendations for like soul music, jazz, like just musical music on SoundCloud, like shoot it in the comments. Cause
please.
I need to get back on SoundCloud. It's just like I'm really turned off to all the future bass, like. I'm like, yo,
I'm gonna share some of my playlists with you from SoundCloud.
Yeah, man, I need like the music. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear.
Nah, you know what? Now that I think about it, since you've been hiding stuff, since you've been keeping things from your boy,
it was for
keep it to myself.
It's for a greater good, man. I'm trying to level up. But yeah,
see where your allegiances lie.
But so y'all gotta know when I get that beat, Tom's album's gonna be amazing because I'm gonna be able to help actually with production.
All right, okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I want to help. Being a rapper is weird sometimes because it's like you feel like you're in a spot where you need things from people all the time, and you can't. I want to, as a person, I'm a very giving person, and so like. I feel like I'm always, man, I need some art. I need a video. It's like,
right.
I want to do more production because I want to be able to give things to people. That's why I like doing this podcast because I can give it. I don't need, there's no payment. The only thing it costs is my wife being willing to let me like stay up late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is not that I have to like check in, but just like, man, she misses me. I miss her. So
no, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
We know who wear the pants. We get it.
Oh my gosh. Yo.
What? I said we know who wear the pants. I say who?
I do. We do. We wear the pants together. I have one leg, and she wears the other leg.
I like that. I like that.
And that boy got stretch pants. We just walk around town. I got one leg. She got the other.
So, yes, sir. Teamwork makes the dream work.
My wife is looking at me right now.
Yes.
She's like, what are you talking about?
Yes. Get him. Get him, Renata.
Last track. I'm going in. Man, he's got these lyrics on Transform, and I'm gonna read them. They like, again, feel very not disturbing. They feel disturbing to me. I'm not gonna lie. So here's the lyric. Just something about what he's saying, and it says, I think it's so funny sometimes. It's not the lyrics, but like when me and you talk, because like musically. You are way less conservative. You're way more liberal than me. You're like, I like it. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with this ideology right here. I need to analyze it. Then what are the themes that they're really discussing? I mean, this is kind of problematic. And then when it comes to like alcohol and cursing, I'm like, yeah, whatever. You're like, nah, man.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on that.
God is good like that, though. So, okay, so the lyric says, if a leopard never changes his spots, how can I change what I've got? First off, I'm like, what you got, dog? What you get from the girl in the first track, bro? I hope you ain't over here messing around with other girls when you got what you got if you can't change it. You go to the doctor, B.
But what if my man is talking, what if he's moved off of that? What if he's talking about black skin? You know what I'm saying? What if he's talking about, the hair that he has?
If he's talking about blackness, he is the greatest lyricist of all time. All time. And then the next lyric is transform, which I love the repetition. And he says, we don't punish the tiger for catching his prey, so how am I the one to blame? If it's in my nature, transform. I'm like, so this whole, he's making these like natural arguments. And I'm like, yo, just get out the relationship. Like, and not just a relationship, but I'm like, if you are a manipulative man, you need to stop doing that. Like, please do not be the type of man who sits and manipulates and has a low emotional quotient. Like, you use other people for your own benefit, and obviously you're aware. That's why I don't like J. Cole. I messed with his last project, but as an artist, like, I don't like J. Cole because I feel like J. Cole does the same thing. He does something wrong, and then he tells you that he knows he did something wrong and that he knows what he should do, and then he tells you, but I didn't do it. And it's almost like he's giving himself some type of pass. Like, yo, man, I know I shouldn't take your wallet. I took your wallet. Next time I should probably give it back. But I bought some new J's though. And then just walks away. And it's like, thank you? I guess, thank you. Like, can I have are you going to give my wallet back? Or was this just a cool story, bro? Like,
right. And then he throws transform in there as if at the kind of like, everybody's telling me to transform and to change, and you know, like,
and it's so oppressive.
Interesting.
And, oh my gosh. But I'm like, that's how I felt. I felt like you're a bad person to whoever you're with, which you own that. I think everybody at some point, you're a bad person to whoever you're with as part of relationships. That's not my problem. My problem is he's like making these like leper. I'm like, bruh, I'm sorry. Like, if this was not our podcast, there would be other words coming out, and I'd be like, black man, fix it. Like, black man, who cares? Black man, what? Like, you know, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, get the freak out of here, dog. Like, stop that.
Interesting. I mean, to a degree, it's almost like, because you were saying, like, you know, you're being a bad person, and you're justifying it. Like, I watch, you watch Blacklist?
Yeah.
Bro,
like
this
Red.
Reminds me of Raymond
Red.
Reddington.
Yeah, it does.
Like, he tells the best stories, and then, like, he also has the best motives for the things that he does. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's the most notorious. Spoilers. If you haven't watched any episodes of Blacklist, I'm going to completely ruin the whole everything for you. So, Raymond Reddington is the most notorious criminal on pretty much on the face of the planet, like in this show. And he is always telling the best stories. He's always the guy that's like, he has a motive and he has a reason and a rhyme for everything that he does.
Right.
And it's typically because, you know, he's trying to protect, you know, the main character, or he's doing it because he has a big heart and he's always trying to help somebody, and he's always trying to, but it's typically going to include somebody dying, somebody getting hurt, somebody losing. What's that?
Somebody gonna get this work.
Somebody's gonna get this work, you know. And to a degree, it's almost what Daniel is doing. Like, he's saying, like, hey, look, I'm gonna be who I am. I'm going to probably, you know, whether he's talking about cheating, whether he's talking about doing things that's morally wrong in a relationship.
He kind of opens it up. Like, he makes the conversation bigger than a relationship with this song. It's not just like relationships anymore. He's just like, anything I do, who are you to tell me that I can't do it, because this is who I am. I can't transform. That's what I feel like he's saying. Or I wish I could transform. You haven't helped me. You know, we're on our own. Like, it's like that kind of paradox. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like, I want to change, but I feel like in trying to tell me to change, I'm being oppressed, and I'm being stifled, and I'm being set up. You know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
man. I mean, now here's the funniest part. He might not even mean any of the stuff that we're talking about.
Yo, we could be definitely reading into it.
Yeah. So for anybody who's listening, I mean, again, this is our interpretation, and I think that's what art. Man? Yeah. Let us know what you guys think, especially in the comments. This is, in my opinion, art is always subjective.
Yep.
You know, it's never like, you know, a cut and dry thing when it comes to, you know, whether it's, you know, visual art, whether it's, you know, music, is writing, anything like that, because it's all after the writer or the creator puts the product out.
Yep.
Now it's up to me. How do I see it? What do my eyes see when I look at this painting?
Yep.
What do my ears hear? What does my emotions and my heart, what do they feel when I'm experiencing, you know, the lyrics and the music from this artist. And so I think one of the reasons. Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't even done. Let's hear some more from Transform that you were talking about.
No, I mean,
was that the gist of it?
That was the gist. Gist. My students, like my school, instituted this new curriculum, so my kids have to write gist statements all the time. So like we tell them, gist means generally it's saying that, it's like an acronym or whatever. I just made that.
Got you.
But generally, this song is saying that. Generally, it's saying that people can't change who they are, and it's not worth it to eat. Why even try? That's how I feel. Because he says, I don't know why I fight it. The least I can do is try. But ego's in the way. I know you feel mad today. That anger will fade away, and you'll wish you was here. It's you know what I mean. It's like even here, like it's never over till life ends. Lay down beside me, do it again. This album feels like a dude who like really want to smash with his girl, but his dad's a pastor. And he's like, nah, fam, don't do that. Like, and he's like, but dad, that's how it feels to me.
You want me to be something that I'm not?
How
you
Dad?
Want me to? Right?
She's so fine. Like that's how it feels, which I understand. You know what I mean? And I'm not judging my guy on it. It feels
sure, absolutely, yeah.
It feels interesting, and that's why I keep coming back to this album, because there are parts of it that I just resonate with, whether it's musical, whether it's the tone. At the end of the day, there are vibes here that my spirit is just like, yes, I need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there are other vibes where I'm just looking at it with the side eye, like, really,
like, bro, what are you on?
Really, black person, like what, like. We gotta decide if we can say the N-word on the show. It's like, bruh, like for real, like why? Like you kind of corny right now, dude. You sound lame. So that's how. But I love the album, man. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ryan Tobert, dog. Get at me, bro. You saying this album sucks, and I guess I'm
come
kinda,
on.
How? Like there's
Ryan,
no way this.
Ryan, what are you listening to, bro? I don't
know. My guy over here listening to Sango. Sango is dope. I can't hate on Sango. But
Sango is amazing, but guess what? He doesn't really have music with a lot of lyrics.
Or music with music, in my opinion. I feel like he does a lot of samples.
He does. He's amazing at it. But
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. I'm like, I like this because I don't know. I want to know what Ryan thinks about it. We should have him on at some point. I'm gonna be in Wheaton for the thing. And so maybe we can all sit down and talk at some point. But like I would love to know his thoughts on it. Ryan, if you get this, put some thoughts in the comments, man. This for you. We shooting shots at you, dog.
Man. Don't be like that, Ryan. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Don't be a ghost.
This my diss track, bro. Get at me. Or I heard that you is out here saying that Daniel Ceasar is fire.
So then so let's talk about the next one. Freudian. Dude, okay. I love the track that he put together for this song.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The track is actually super fire. And here's why. Have you ever come home on a summer night, you're ready to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden you hear that the stinking cricket that you can't find. He put that in the song.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And he used it as almost like a hi-hat that he uses.
Right.
It's like a constant, drone to the song. And I'm not sure what he was trying to get at by using that, but I thought it was actually really creative. And then even the use of like like how he's playing the guitar, and then he goes back and like slows it down, so like at the ends of it, it's like
right,
like on certain parts of the song. So I thought it was. I like it musically. Again, he was on
fire. Fire. And I mean, this album is. I think I'm still getting into it, man. Because as I think about these last two songs, like near the end, he does kind of, I don't know, make these kind of like little boy excuses in my mind. But then he's like, I feel like he's also kind of saying like that being with this girl has helped him learn something. I think at some point he does make like these like little boy excuses in my mind. But then he's also kind of saying being with her has helped him learn something, and like he's admitting he did something wrong, but he's like also saying like, I learned something, and I just want to thank you for helping me like make it through this hard season in life. And this relationship wasn't perfect, but I grew from it. And it's like, who doesn't have that? Who doesn't have a relationship where you tried to do the right thing, you tried to make it work, you wanted to make it work, but there's no way it was work. Y'all just like it wasn't the right person. You know what I mean? And you weren't the right person. But you still learned a lot. You know what I mean? You grew a lot. And it's like, that's everybody. So like, maybe I'm being too hard. I don't know. I gotta go. I guess I gotta keep listening to this album. Because every time I think I know what I think about it, like I listen to his lyrics and I'm like,
what do you...
Dang.
Yeah.
But maybe, and I think that's what good lyricists should do. You know what I mean? They should make you...
Great writers do that, absolutely. They challenge you. They make you think. They make you... kind of reevaluate your moral compass sometimes. And honestly, my moral compass tells me that Daniel has a lot of issues that he's working through on this album, which I think is really cool because, again, as artists, as writers, this is a platform that, we're able to kind of use as like therapy. It's very therapeutic for the artist and honestly for a lot of the listeners. People, if you actually take the time, listen to what he's saying, and don't just assume a feel good track is a feel good track like I made the fatal mistake of doing.
But then don't assume a sad track is a sad track.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very true. Very true.
Because the end of Transform gets kind of happy. And in this song that we're talking about now, which starts off kind of happy, gets real weird. Talking about, isn't it nice, human sacrifice? Come on, dog. That's weird.
You talking about not Freudian, but like after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, human sacrifice.
But I know he's talking about, this is his church lyrics again. I know he's talking about like the idea of a cross, and like he's just like, isn't that great? Like it's like a sarcastic,
right? But then I also think he's talking about, human sacrifice in the sense of like when you love someone, you will put yourself aside. Bro. When you love someone, you'll go through the ringer because it's worth
that
it.
Person,
it's worth it to make that person happy. If putting yourself out there on the line gets you into a relationship, yes, it's going to be messy, yes, it's going to suck, but like you said, I'm blessed to be stuck with you. Right. That's part of the sacrifice that maybe he's talking about.
And I think the question is he sarcastic? Is he being sarcastic in this album? Is he actually saying what he's saying, or is he saying it to make you think one thing but actually saying something else, or is he trying to actually, does it say what it feels like he's saying? You know what I mean? Like there's so many different, like, because you got the lyrics going in one direction, the music going in a different direction, and then you trying to find your way in between all those things.
He's clearly trying to do like the opposite. Writing fun, happy music, but then sometimes sad, contemplative lyrics. By doing that, to me, that tells me that it could be both and. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily it's not necessarily just one thing where he's like trying to be sarcastic, but then he's also trying to make you think. I think it's both. I think he could be, doing like, you know what, you can see this song as a happy song, or you can see it as, man, that was really deep, or you can see it as, man, that was really sad, or man, that was actually kind of disturbing, all in one song. Like that's talent.
That's probably how he feels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think I feel like that a lot.
Yeah.
When I look at myself, I feel disturbed. I feel like I could like ignore what's really going on and be and just like try to focus on the happy things. So all in all, man, this is my last question before we hit the hay tonight. Sure. Classic or nah?
Ooh. I say classic. I
want to. Yeah. And what's your measure? How do you know?
Well, okay, so I almost feel like I feel like classic. There's got to be something in between, and then nah, because saying that this is a classic is kind of going a little bit far, because typically things that are this creative go over the general population's heads.
Right.
Like typically when you categorize a classic, it's something that's like it makes you think, but it's also very relatable. So maybe this is it, because like I think about, again, we go back to Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. That album was so weighty. Like he talked about a lot of like political issues, spiritual issues, personal issues, like family issues. Like there was a lot of different things that, you know, you made you laugh and made you cry. I mean, you listen to like Village Ghetto Land, you know, on Stevie Wonder's album. Then you listen to like Saturn, you know, then you listen to like I Wish. Like there were lots of different emotions and lots of different like trains of thought that he was able to touch on and kind of work through. And so, you know, but I think that album was way more relatable, you know, to the general population. And then you could go back and break it down and dissect it and get more of a meaning out of each song. This album, in my opinion, I mean, again, maybe off of first listen is kind of like cut and dry, but then you go back, you're like, wait a minute, what is this dude talking about? So, and it's not like in a, you know, like I don't feel disturbed in the way that I like if I will listen to like a, you know, no shade, but like a, you know, Tyler the Creator. If I was listening to like some of his music, I'm like, what? I don't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't feel right when I listen to some of this dude's stuff. But
yeah,
you know, I don't feel that type of disturbed, but just more so like, man, people go through some rough stuff out here, you know, and you see relationships, and it's not always the happy, warm things that make people actually enjoy being in relationships. Sometimes it is like, yo, I'm crazy, you crazy, and that's why I love you. Like you can deal with my crazy, you know.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I get from this album. So classic, I feel like that's a little bit strong now that I'm talking about it. I feel like that's a little bit strong for this album.
You going with nah?
I won't say nah though, because I love this album. Like I'm probably gonna listen to it again, you know, for like at least the next month. You know, I'll probably it'll be in rotation. So I don't know. What about for you though?
I'm saying it's a classic, and this is how I decide.
Right.
I decide if something is classic by whether or not I want to buy it on vinyl.
Okay.
And I cannot quantify why I want to buy some things on vinyl, but just here's a list of the last stuff that I've wanted to buy or have bought. D'Angelo's last album.
Yes, sir.
Kendrick, To Pimp a Butterfly. Solange's album. Childish Gambino's last album. Gabrielle Garzon's last album.
Okay.
Like those are all stuff that either I have bought on vinyl or are on my to buy list.
Yeah.
This album in my mind fits right. Like it has a slot in my musical influence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Absolutely. It's not like it is a musical pillar for me now.
Yeah.
For like songwriting, just like because the way he approaches his ideas and his emotions and his all of it to me is like I'm gonna be thinking about this and like inspired by this, because I guess I based it off of inspiration. At the end of the day, is this long-term inspirational? This project is front to back very, very inspirational to me as an artist.
Yes.
Because it makes me want to go and create.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go and write. It makes me want to go and produce. It makes me want to go and think and talk. And
makes me want to go and do a relationship the right way.
The right way. But it also makes me want to be honest when I'm doing it the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I would say for now, because we only have classic or nah, I'm gonna go classic because, like you said, it did make it. It inspires me in so many different ways. Just how you were saying. I mean, I listened to like the first like 45 seconds. I listened to like the first. Get You was track number 1. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. And I get into like 13 minutes in, and I'm like, yo, I'm still loving this. Like, I'm not trying to change to the next playlist.
You're not trying to transform.
So yeah, I agree with you. For right now, until we gotta find like, 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Like, let me, whatever that is, we'll get our rating system down, and then we'll be able to say that next time too.
Dope.
So
cool, man. Well, this has been Everything is Disco, where it's more than 4-4, trying to get you out the 3-minute, 30-second box. My name, Bartholomew Jones. You can find me everywhere at Bart Jones. Make sure you drink your coffee black, fam. Do that, no sugar, no cream. If you brew better, you will probably do better. And this is Thomas Egler.
Yes, my name is Thomas Egler, aka Tommy Rocket. You can find me on Twitter as Thomas Egler, ThomasEgler. You can find me on Instagram as @Egler_. That's TEGLER _. And we out here. Check us out on all the social media platforms. Everything is Disco. We coming at
man.
Watch out for making the hand towel. If I will get a possible verb or buy a towel, all you get is just a loss to the journey. So as I focus, got a locus of a question to ask. If all I do is so for is it a secular task? Man, I wonder about how I'm gonna honor her God who died to give life to the Nama.
This is it, take a shot, where do we go from here?